वृषावधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जयो नरसिंहदेव जयो नरसिंहदेव जयो नरसिंहदेव जयो नरसिंहदेव जयो प्रहलाद महाराज जयो प्रहलाद महाराज जयो प्रहलाद महाराज जयो प्रहलाद महाराज प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की प्रहलाद महाराज की
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for coming to the Sunday Feast program amidst this wonderful weather outside. Please, we humbly request you all to come forward. Please move forward. So today's class is going to be given by Surabhi Sundarachal Mataji from our Sunday school, the daughter of Hammer Jagannath Prabhu and Prem Radhika Mataji. And her topic is going to be the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Siva. Haribol. So let's welcome her with a loud Haribol! 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 You want me to take all these things away from you?
I don't need it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's okay. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Giri Varadhari Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Giri Varadhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Giri Varadhari Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Giri Varadhari Yashoda Nandana Vrajavana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवारधारी भव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवारधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवारधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवारधारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे राम राम हरे हरे Ribo. Thank you so much for coming to this wonderful Sunday Feast program. So the weather is so bad outside, but still you decided to show some compassion and come and give your association, and so we can all enjoy this wonderful Sunday feast together. The more the merrier in Krishna consciousness. The more you give Krishna to others, the more you get Krishna, and I think that's so much defined in our Krishna conscious family. So today I'm going to be talking about the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Shiva. Does anyone know what tomorrow is? Does anyone know what tomorrow? Shivratri. Shivratri is the wedding day of Lord Shiva. And he is the ultimate guru in our Krishna conscious philosophy because he's the greatest Vaishnava. And before I start my talk, I want to extend my gratitude to all the teachers I've had, especially in Krishna consciousness. The real guru is one who teaches you your eternal connection with Krishna, and I would not be able to do that without my Shiksha gurus, Govindanandri Mataji, Devkinand Prabhuji, and all of you over here. I really am so grateful that you as a family have come and empowered me to talk about Krishna today. So, Lord Shiva. What do we know about Lord Shiva? Does anyone? What is one thing you really know about Lord Shiva? One thing that really inspires you about Lord Shiva? Anyone? Any volunteers? Hare Krishna. All right. Any volunteers? Hari Bol Mataji. He is. He's the greatest Vaishnava. He is the biggest Vishnu Bhakta, and he always sits in Yoga Nidra, and in that Yoga Nidra, he's constantly meditating on the supreme form of Lord Narayana. Any other Prabhujis? Hari Bol Prabhuji. Yes. Of course. Yes. So in the story of the churning of the milk ocean, Lord Shiva is called Nilakantha, and he has this large blue mark on his neck, and that is because he has taken the poison of the poison of the milk ocean. When he was churned, he took that poison for the benefit of all of the living entities, and in that way he shows so much compassion. And you'll see in so many stories of Lord Shiva that he's the exemplification of compassion. So Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava, as Mataji said. He is constantly thinking about Lord Krishna and how to serve Lord Krishna, how he can be of use to Lord Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I'm not a Brahmana, I'm not a Sudra, I'm not a Vaishya, I'm not a Kshatriya, I'm not a Sannyasi, I'm not a Vanaprastha, I'm not a Grihastha, not a Brahmachari. I am simply the servant of the servant of the servant of Sri Krishna. And you'll see, Lord Shiva is the best of those in the Dasya Rasa. He's always in that servitor mood for Lord Krishna. That's why he's also one of the 12 Mahajans. He's also known as Nataraja, or the king of dancers. I personally find that supremely inspiring in my journey of dance. When he dances, his third eye opens and the entire cosmic is annihilated. Yes. And he's also known as Mahadev, the great god. He's second only to Vishnu. He is the best of demigods, but second only to Vishnu. It is said that a living entity, a jiva, can become a Brahma, but he cannot become a Shiva or a Vishnu. That a living entity cannot be. Finally, Lord Shiva is the most widely worshipped deity in India. Lord Shiva is called Ashutosh, or very easily satisfied. And you'll see all over the world, Lord Shiva is so you can always worship Lord Shiva no matter what. He's always there for you. Throughout the world, so many people worship Lord Shiva, but on the flip side of that, so many people, you'll see throughout the yugas, so many demons have taken advantage of this Ashutosh guna of Lord Shiva, and they have used it to their advantage, like Banasura or Jayadratha. He took that boon from Lord Shiva that wherever my head is placed, wherever my head lands, that person's head will break apart into thousands of pieces. What a dreadful boon. But Lord Shiva, being Ashutosh, he is always there for your devotees. But because he is Ashutosh, we devotees of Lord Krishna, it's very ephemeral to ask for boons like this, because we understand that whoever is born will have to die. We know the temporarity of all material boons and benedictions. So as devotees, there's no harm done in praying to Lord Shiva for Krishna prema. And another reason why Lord Shiva is widely worshipped throughout India and throughout the world is because he's also known as Kshetrapal, or the guardian deity. He's always there to protect the devotees there. In Vrindavan, there are 4 deities of Lord Shiva. Gopeshwara Mahadev in Vrindavan. Then there is Chakaleshwar Mahadev in Govardhan. What else? There is, Nageshwar Mahadev in Mathura. And Dwarika, I think Dwarika there is Nageshwar Mahadev. And in Kamyavan, there's Kameshwar Mahadev, and in Nandagram, it's Nandishwar Mahadev. So throughout India, in order to access the beauty of these dhammas, you need to go to Lord Shiva to ask for this benediction. Otherwise, if you go to these dhammas, you'll see pandas quarreling, you'll see You'll see pigs roaming, cows roaming, birds roaming. You won't be able to come into the rasa of the dhamma that you are entering into. You will never be able to enter into rasa. Does anyone know what that temple is? It's in Puri, Orissa, and it's also a Shiva temple. And in order to fully experience the bliss of Puri, you need to go to this Shiva temple and ask for the benedictions of this Shiva deity. Does anyone know? Lingaraj, close? No. Is anyone else? It does start with an L. L. Hema Jagannath Prabhuji, what do you know? Loknath temple. The story goes that Lord Rama, on his way to Rameshwaram, he stops by this village called Sabarapalli. It's a tribal village, and in that village, the villagers give him a huge Loki gourd. And in that Loki gourd, Lord Rama does not see just a material Loki, he sees the form of Shiva. He sees the spiritual form of Shiva Linga. And there, Lord Rama installs that deity because he wants to worship Lord Shiva. And there he worships Lord Shiva in that place. And whoever goes to Puri, they have to ask for the benedictions of Lord Shiva, or they cannot enter the Puri temple with the rasa, with that Aishwarya rasa at mind. So that is the importance of Lord Shiva in Vaishnava culture. Without Lord Shiva, one cannot enter into the rasas of Lord Krishna, as you'll see later. Okay. So as we talked about this, as Madhuri said, Lord Shiva is the greatest of Vaishnavas. It is said, just in Srimad Bhagavatam, just as the Ganga is the greatest of rivers, Lord Krishna is the supreme among deities. Lord Shambhu, Shiva, is the greatest of Vaishnavas. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the greatest among Puranas. Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu. It says that among Vaishnavas, the best is Lord Shiva. And that is his importance to us. In order to access the rasa of Lord Krishna, in order to develop our relationship with Krishna, we need to vanchakalpatarubhrashya. We need to take the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees. And who better devotee than Lord Shiva himself? Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Lord Vishnu replied, Brahma, Lord Shiva, and I are the supreme cause of material manifestation. I am the super soul, the self-sufficient witness that, but impersonally, there is no difference between Brahma, Lord Shiva, and me. And we will see throughout India, throughout India, we will see that people think that the Trinity is, there is no difference between Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Vishnu because they do not understand the personal. They only understand the impersonal aspect of the Supreme, that material manifestation, that Brahman. They do not realize that personal aspect of the Supreme cause of all causes. They think that Lord Brahma is the creator, Lord Vishnu is the maintainer, and Lord Shiva is the supreme annihilator. And they're not wrong in the impersonal sense, but because they have not totally understand the personal sense of Vishnu and Bhagavan, they do not understand that there is a difference between Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Vishnu. Finally, like milk and yogurt, that is the analogy given in the Brahma Samhita about the difference between Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu. It is called Achintya Veda Veda Tattva. There's very inconceivable differences like milk and yogurt. Milk can be transformed into yogurt, but yogurt cannot be transformed into milk. That is the same thing with Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu. Lord Shiva is considered like yogurt, dadhi. Yogurt is nothing but transformed milk. Nonetheless, yogurt cannot be accepted to be milk. Similarly, Lord Shiva holds almost all of the powers of Lord Vishnu, and he is above the qualities of the living entities, but he is not exactly like Vishnu. Just as yogurt, although transformed milk, is not exactly milk. So, through this verse, we can understand that because Lord Shiva is associated with material nature, it's compared to acid way. When he is associated with material nature, he takes on different gunas than Lord Vishnu himself, and that is the difference between Lord Shiva and Vishnu. Milk can be transformed into yogurt, but yogurt cannot be transformed into milk. So, we were talking that Lord Shiva is the greatest servant, the most munificent devotee of Lord Krishna. And we see that in Vrindavan. On the 12th day of Krishna's birth, Lord Shiva decided that he was going to learn what the Braja Bhakti, he was going to visit Lord Krishna at his home. And so he took the disguise of a Brahmana and he came down to the material world, to Vraja. And there, as soon as his feet touched the dust of Vraja, he realized that, oh, maybe this is not such a good idea. Krishna knows that I am coming to see him, therefore I must come in my real form. So Lord Shiva, with his matted hair, with leopard skin, with a belt of scorpions and serpents wrapped around his neck, he comes into Nandagaon and he knocks on the door of Yashodamai, and Yashodamai opens the door. But Yashodamai is so engrossed in her service to Krishna, so engrossed in Vatsalya Rasa, that she does not recognize Lord Shiva himself. She does not recognize the greatest of Vaishnavas, the cosmic annihilator. She does not recognize him. Instead, she sees just another Baba with long hair and perhaps a snake charmer. And she sees him and she says, "No, Baba, you seem very tired. Would you like some food?" And Lord Shiva says, "No, I don't need food. My wife is actually Annapurni. We don't need any food. I've actually come to see Lord Krishna, your baby, your son." And Yashodamai became anxious. He said, "No, of course not. You have snakes all around. You're so dangerous. I will never let Krishna come near you." And Lord Shiva says, "Here, let me get you some prasadam, some clothing. You must be a little tired after your walk and you don't seem to have many clothes. Let me get you something to eat and something so you can freshen up a little bit." And Lord Shiva said, please, let me see Lord Krishna. I've come so far just to see Lord Krishna, just to see your son." But Yashodamai is so stubborn. She said, "No, I will not let my son come to you. I will not let you. Please understand. I'll give you some food and you can freshen up, but please don't come near my Lalla." And Lord Shiva said, "I will wait here 10,000 years if I don't get to see your Lalla." And Yashodamai is nothing less. She said, I will lock this door for 20,000 years and I won't ever let you come near my Lalla. So Lord Shiva, he became shocked and he realized, oh, I don't think I'll be able to see the Lord of the universe in his baby form today. And very morosely and very sadly, he walks back to the Yamuna. Very, very sadly. And Lord Krishna inside, he is trying to show us the superiority of Vatsalya Prema over Dasya Prema. Lord Shiva came with the intent of seeing the Lord of the universe, but Lord Yashodamai had always this devotee to serve Krishna, always this unalloyed devotion, pure devotion, this love for Krishna, and that is what Krishna seeks. He does not seek our awe and reverence. Instead, he seeks very true love from us, and that's what is shown by this pastime. And so, as soon as Lord Shiva realizes this, Lord Krishna starts crying. Baby Krishna starts crying like anything. And all of the residents of Raja come to Mother Yashoda's house, and they're trying to console Lalla. Please stop crying, please, with various activities, the rattle and whatnot. But Krishna will not stop crying. And so, a very smart gopi by the name of Lalita asked Mother Yashoda, was there anyone who came to your house and left unfulfilled, unhappily? And Yashoda Mai says, yes, there was this one Brahmana. He came with matted hair and snakes all around his neck and a belt of scorpions, and he had a leopard skin, and I did not welcome him very well. And with this description, Lalita goes and she finds Lord Shiva, and she does not recognize Lord Shiva. She finds him as just some Brahmana, and she brings him back to Yashoda Mai's house. And as soon as Lord Krishna comes in contact with the hands of Lord Shiva, he stops crying. He stops crying. That is the beauty of this pastime. And Lord Shiva, he takes the little feet of Lord Krishna and he puts it on his head and says, Prabhu, I will never ever understand your Leela, your inconceivable pastimes. You left me, you crushed my ego, and now you come to me. No one will understand your Leela. And Krishna is just laughing, and Mother Yashoda is all anxious. She's like, Baba, keep your snakes away from my child. Yashoda Mai still could not understand that Lord Shiva had come to their house. That is the beauty of pure, unalloyed bhakti to Lord Krishna. That's what we're all practicing here today. Another pastime. Lord Shiva, the most humble servant. Can anyone guess who this deity is? Oh my God, wow, Hari Bol. Gopeshwar Mahadev. Yes. He's dressed in a sari right now. He's dressed in a sari. In the mornings, he is normally worshipped in his masculine form as a Shiva Linga, Abhisheks, and all kinds of wonderful, wonderful, auspicious things. And at night, the pujaris all dress him up in saris and beautiful jewelry. And Lord Shiva, the masculine entity of Hindu culture, sits in a sari and he guards the rasa dance. Would you like to join me in this prayer? Vrindavani Pate, Jaya Soma Soma, Maule Sandana Sanananda, Sanatana Naradeya, Gopishwara Vraja Vilasi, Yoga Niri Padme, Prema Prayacha, Nirupadi Namo Namaste. So one of our acharyas has written this wonderful prayer to Lord Shiva himself to bless him and to enter Krishna Prema. If you want, please recite the translation with me as well. O gatekeeper of Vrindavana, O Soma, the moon, all glories to you. O you whose forehead is decorated with the moon, and who is worshipped by the sages headed by Sanananda, Sanatana, and Narada. O Gopishwara, desiring that you bestow upon me limitless love for the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radha Madhava, who performing your pastimes in Vraja, I offer my obeisances to you again and again. That is the best boon that we can ask for from Lord Shiva. We can ask for good grades, 1600s on the SAT, wonderful husbands, wonderful wives. But we won't be able, but all of these things are very, very temporary. In this long line of so many birds, what use is it? These little things. The best boon that we can ask Ashutosh, Gopishwara Mahadev, is love for Krishna, Krishna Prema, to enter into the beautiful rasa of Lord Krishna. So, one day, Lord Shiva wanted to learn about the Madhurya rasa. He wanted to understand and experience the rasa of Lord Krishna. And so he did long and difficult penances, and he pleased Purnamasi. Purnamasi is the Shiksha Guru of the Vrajavasis, and she's also Yogamaya, the personification of Yogamaya in Vrindavana. And so he pleases Purnamasi, and Purnamasi instructs Shiva, go take a bath in Brahma Kunda. And so Lord Shiva agrees. He takes a bath in Brahma Kunda, and he emerges as a beautiful, beautiful gopi. And so he walks towards the rasa dance place, and there the gopis stop, and they ask him questions. Who are you? What do you do? Who's your husband? What does he do? Where do you live? And Shiva is there, and he's like, I don't know how to answer all of these questions. And the gopis immediately, they take their service very, very strictly, like I know some of you all do. And they took their service very strictly, and they immediately started slapping the cheeks of Lord Shiva. They took so much pride in their service, so much dedication they had in their service, that they could not even recognize Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva is helplessly crying out, Purnamasi, 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 help me, help me, help me. And Lord Shiva is crying, how do I get out of this miserable condition? And it is explained that the gopis do not realize, because they are so much in Krishna prema, they do not realize what is right and what is wrong. Their service is Krishna. Their service is for Krishna. They're so focused, so dedicated in their Krishna consciousness that they do not realize. They do not care of who should get respect and who should not. They always are looking to serve Krishna. So Purnamasi comes to the aid of Lord Shiva, and she said, Gopis, stop, this is Lord Shiva. And even after knowing that this is Lord Shiva himself, the gopis still will not agree to Lord Shiva. They stop slapping her cheeks, but they will not let Lord Shiva enter the rasa dance. They will not. This is only for the gopis. And they're so strict in their service. Purnamasi says, I can't help you. It's only by the benediction of Lord Krishna that one can enter into the rasa dance. But you, why don't you stand here, guard the rasa dance, so that you can help other souls, other jivas come and enter the rasa dance. And Prabhuji was saying, Lord Shiva is so compassionate. Although he himself cannot enter the rasa dance, although he himself cannot enter Krishna prema, he is willing to help us enter it. How that selfless compassion is what exemplifies Lord Shiva. He is the personification of compassion in that sense. And that's why he's called, that's why Vaishnavas are called Paradukhe Dukhi. They're always engaged, they're always so compassionate towards others. A Vaishnava is never concerned with his own happiness and distress, but when someone else is in happiness or distress, they will definitely try to do something, try to do anything that is in their control. And that's what we see. Halahal, Nilakanta, Kalakanta, these are all, Nilakanta and Kalakanta are both two words to describe Lord Shiva. And it comes from the beginning of time, during the churning of the milk ocean between the demigods and the demons. And during the churning of the milk ocean, as they are pulling and pulling both sides of a mountain, the first thing that comes out before the nectar, before the amrita of immortality, the first thing that comes out is the deadliest of poisons. The deadliest of poisons, which is called halahal. And this halahal is spreading everywhere. It's uncontained and it's spreading all over the material world. The living entities are suffering, the demons, the demigods, everyone is suffering. And so the demigods go to Lord Vishnu. But Lord Vishnu is always concerned with the glorification of his devotees, not of his own. So Lord Vishnu instructs all the demigods and the demons to go to Lord Shiva, and at Kailash, they beg Lord Shiva to please help them, that this poison will destroy all of mankind, all of the living entities living throughout the cosmos. And so Lord Shiva, being the compassionate one he is, turns to Bhavani, his wife, Parvati, and he says, "Dearest, there comes a time where Lord Vishnu wants me to serve, wants me to be a part of the greater cause and help out all these living entities. And if I can make these living entities' lives easier, Lord Vishnu will always be satisfied. And seeing Lord Vishnu satisfied, I will be satisfied." Do you see that chain of events? Because these devotees because the living entities will be happy, Lord Vishnu will be happy. And seeing that Vishnu will be happy, I will be happy. So please give me the permission to take this halahal, this poison, this deadliest of poisons. And so Lord Shiva, he summons all of the poison that is coming out of the ocean in the palm of his hand. And you can imagine how concentrated that deadliest of halahals is in just the palm of his hand. And he sips that poison. And as he's sipping that poison, and he sips that poison, and it stuck at the throat. And you'll see the external reason of why he puts of his bluish neck is that he puts a snake around his neck in order to stop the poison from entering his body. But our acharyas give this very beautiful internal reason. They say that because Krishna is in the soul of Lord Shiva, because Krishna, he's always meditating on the beautiful form of Lord Krishna, and he's always in the soul of Lord Krishna, that Lord Shiva will never let that poison enter into his body, because his entire existence is meant for Lord Krishna. And the internal reason for Lord Shiva's throat always being blue is that he is always meditating on that beautiful, beautiful bluish, blackish form of Shyamasundara. Because he's always meditating on Shyamasundara. So we can see here, not only is Lord Shiva the greatest of Vaishnavas, that he is always dedicated in Krishna consciousness, but that he's also very, very compassionate. So compassionate in his dealings with all living entities. So this is Sanatan Goswami and the mosquitoes. We see that one day, Lord Sanatan Goswami was living in Chakratirtha. Chakratirtha is where Madan Mohan temple is. It is next to Govardhan Hill, and right opposite to where Sanatan Goswami was living were the quarters of Chakleshwar Mahadev. And Lord Shiva and Sanatan Goswami were very, very close, dear friends. And Lord Sanatan Goswami would always come to the temple of Chakleshwar Mahadev and pray to him to give him some permission into Krishna Prema. One day, the mosquitoes had gotten so bad in Madan Mohan temple that Sanatan Goswami realized, I cannot do my service for Krishna that well. I cannot write my books. I cannot do my chanting. I cannot serve Krishna. So he decided, he decided he was going to leave. And so he was packing his belongings, and Lord Shiva became agitated because Lord Shiva, like all of us Vaishnavas, we're always looking for the association of devotees. All Vaishnavas look for the association of devotees. And when he saw such a great Vaishnava was leaving his association, he became so terrified. And so he came in the guise of an old Brahmana, and he came to Sanatana Goswami, and he asked, Sanatana Goswami, why are you leaving? Is there a problem? And Sanatana Goswami explained, these mosquitoes are too much. They are biting me, and I am not able to concentrate on Krishna consciousness, which is the goal of my life, which is the goal of my existence, and I cannot do it. And Shiva was so happy. He was, it's such a small thing. And he immediately left, and he called the mosquito god, the god in charge of all the insects near Madan Mohan temple. And he called the mosquito god and he said, do not bring your mosquitoes. Do not let your mosquitoes come close to Krishna's devotees. And so from then on, the mosquitoes never bothered Sanatana Goswami. And the next day, Lord Sanatana Goswami was able to nicely serve Krishna and serve Radha Madan Mohan. And you can see how Lord Shiva is constantly, always trying to help and serve Lord Krishna's devotees. So, many times we hear throughout when we mix with different people from different faiths, we hear that Lord Shiva is best, Lord Vishnu is best, but the Srimad Bhagavatam explains the true position of Lord Shiva as the servant, as the best of the dasya rasa of Lord Shiva, of Lord Krishna. Sorry. It is explained that in this material world, Lord Shiva is the greatest of Vaishnavas, and in the spiritual world, the gopis are the best of Vaishnavas. So, Lord Shiva is a demigod, is the best of demigods, and we should worship him to experience Krishna prema, not for small things like material benefits, because he will give them to you. He is Ashutosh. He has no problem, and we should realize that it is all coming from the grace of Krishna, that we pray to Shiva for all of these material benedictions, but it's all coming from Lord Krishna. It is explained that Lord Shiva is always engaged in the kirtan of Lord Hari. That's why you'll see many temples of Hari Haraya, where Hara is protecting Lord Hari. Lord Shiva is the best of Vaishnavas in that respect. And we know that it is said that Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, that Krishna says, leave all types of religion and surrender unto me. But because of such a fallen state of material nature, of such material conditioning among living entities, many people do not realize who is Krishna, who is God. So these demigods, Lord Shiva, they are all there so that the living entities can just start their relationship with Krishna. Because Lord Shiva, he appeals to the people of ignorance. He appeals to those of tamaguna. He has dreadlocks. He has leopard skin, and in that way, he's very much kind, and he very flowing with the flow, and his devotees are ghosts. His devotees are all kinds of beasts, but still, because of his kindness and compassion, people, all kinds of living entities can come to Lord Shiva for some guidance. And Lord Shiva is so merciful that He allows us to serve Him, and through His service, many living entities can begin their relationship with Krishna. And in due course of time, in due course of spiritualization, a devotee will come in contact with Vaishnavas, and these Vaishnavas will lead them to Krishna. So it is also said, so sarvadharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja. We are told that we should surrender to Krishna, but how do we surrender to Krishna? How do we surrender to Krishna? And to teach that, Lord Chaitanya comes. Lord Chaitanya is the most compassionate Lord. He comes to teach us how to surrender to Krishna. He comes as his own devotee to teach us how to glorify Krishna, how to be a good devotee of Krishna. And he lays out this step-by-step process of bhakti yoga so we can glorify Krishna. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is therefore the most compassionate Lord. Lord Chaitanya is so compassionate that he allows for people of so many different, he allows for so many people of so many different cultures, of backgrounds, of ethnicities to come together under one roof to pray to Lord Krishna. And no one can exemplify that devotee better than Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was born to a Muslim family, and because he was born to a Muslim family, he was constantly terrorized by different Brahmanical sects because of his love for Krishna. Because he loved Krishna so much, he became so weak. It became his weakness. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not see his birth as a defining right in his love for Krishna. Love for Krishna you do not need to come of a certain type of birth to love Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed that. And he's explained that after his departure from this material world, Haridas Thakur had actually taken permission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he had left the world with that permission from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as he was leaving his body, after he left his body, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the body of Haridas Thakur and went to the Bay of Bengal, because he saw the Bay of Bengal as blue, as Krishna himself. And it is said that as soon as Haridas Thakur's feet touched the waters of the Bay of Bengal, they immediately became purified with his touch. And it is explained that anyone who goes to Puri must take a bath in the waters near the Jagannath Puri, or else his trip will not be successful. So on your next trip to Jagannath Puri, please make sure before you go to Jagannath Puri that you will take darshan of Lokanath temple, and you will also take a bath in the Bay of Bengal, because without that, one's trip is not successful. So Haridas Thakur's great devotion to Lord Krishna is exemplified in this pastime. Finally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most humble avatar. So this happens in the Gundicha Mandir. The Gundicha Mandir is what Vrindavan is an exemplification of Vrindavan, or Sundaracha. And during this time, Vrindavan is in such a devastated state. Yashoda Mai is so tired. Without Krishna, it's as if the life out of Vrindavan has left, but not quite left. There is still some hope that Krishna will return, and with that hope, the residents of Vraja continue their day-to-day practices, and that is the state of Gundicha Mandir. Because Lord Jagannath has not come, Gundicha Mandir is left forlorn. It it is left unkempt, and in preparation for Lord Jagannath's arrival, only then is Gundicha temple actually taken seriously, actually cleaned seriously. Here we see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is cleaning the temple with water from the Indradumna tank. He takes water from the Indradumna tank, and as he cleans the temple of the Lord, water flows from his eyes, flows and flows from his eyes, and with that water from his eyes, Jai Shri Radha Shyam Sundar, Jai Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, Jai Gaurnitai. Prabhuji, how are we doing on time? 10 minutes? 5 minutes? Hari Bol. So, can someone help me with the slides? So, as I was saying, Gundicha Mandir is so in that way so devotionally situated that it is constantly in that mood of remembrance of Lord Jagannath. And Lord Chaitanya himself, it is explained that we have to clean the mirror of our heart, clean the temple of our heart. Only then will Lord Krishna be able to reside in that temple. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu uses his tears of love and devotion to clean the temple of Lord Jagannath. So at this point, I wanted to ask all of you if you would like to hear a story of the Lord, or if you would like to hear a story of his devotee. So, Hari Bol for listening to a story of Lord Hari. So on 1, 2, 3, how many of you would like to listen to a story of Lord Hari? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. And how many of you would like to listen to a story about his devotee, Lord Shiva? Hara. Hari Bol. So, both? So, I wanted to share one story with you that I supremely liked. It is the story of Vallabhacharya. He was a saint of the Nimbarka Sampradaya, and he used to pray to Lord Shiva very, very fervently. And after praying to Lord Shiva so dedicatedly, with long and difficult penance, Lord Shiva appeared to him and said, "Ask for whatever boon you may ask for." And Vallabhacharya, being a very, very great devotee of Lord Shiva, he asked Lord Shiva, "Please give me that which is the most precious to you." And so Lord Shiva gave to Vallabhacharya the small deity of Lord Krishna as a gift. He gave this beautiful small deity of Lord Krishna as a gift so that he could worship, so that he could inculcate devotional service towards Lord Krishna. And that is so beautiful. We're always told that that one of the best ways to inculcate our Krishna consciousness is not by simply doing our japa. It is by giving Krishna to others. It's only by giving Krishna to others, by extending ourselves to others, by performing sankirtana, that we can actually take ourselves to Krishna. We cannot go just simply by ourselves. Like today in the kirtan, I was seeing so many Matajis and so many Prabhujis holding hands and doing kirtan. We are often told in our Sunday school that try to engage everyone, as many people as possible in the service of Krishna. And what better devotee than Lord Shiva in giving Krishna to Vallabhacharya to inculcate his own devotion to Krishna. The more we give Krishna, the more we get Krishna. So in summary, the more we give Krishna, the more we get Krishna. If we are to increase our devotional service to the Lord, the only way is to preach. The only way is to give Krishna to others so that they may also extend their own devotional service to others. And in this way, we can spread the love of God. And by spreading the love of God to others, we can increase the love of God in ourselves. So, thank you very much. Haribo. Haribo. Hare Krishna. Haribo. Thank you, Darkesh.
Thanks for the nice Shiva Katha. In Srila Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhava by His Holiness Bhakti Vikash Swami, it's described how even Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati also, no mosquitoes would go around him also.
Wow. I think that's because of Lord Shiva's blessings. Lord Shiva's blessings in always helping his devotees engage more in Krishna consciousness. That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, his disciples recounted of how many times he would go into the jungle.
Wow.
And all the devatas would be there, and he would speak Krishna Katha to them because they would ask him.
Wow.
Also, that's in Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhava also.
So the devatas are always engrossed in Krishna Katha, always engrossed in Krishna consciousness, and that really shows that we should all aspire for Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much for that.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hari
They are
Bol.
wonderful lectures.
I'm trying. It's all Krishna's verse.
I have a question. It's a little bit harder question. I'm telling you, Mataji. So you know that there is a great story of Bhassasura. With Bhassasura.
Vatsasura?
With
Bhasmasura.
Bhassasura.
Yes, of course, yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Bhassasura. So Bhassasura want to put his hand on top of
Yes.
on head of the Siva.
Lord Shiva, yes.
Lord Siva. So I there is some contradiction. I am thinking that Lord Siva above the death and birth, because Lord Siva will not annihilate any time, because after Krishna, there is a Siva Loka, and we can see the chart. There is some chart, right? What is the name of the, so Lord Siva above the death. Why should Lord Siva fear on Bhassasura?
That is a really beautiful question. It's not that Lord Shiva fears Bhasmasura. It's that the question was that how can we understand that Lord Shiva was fearful towards Bhasmasura, towards the demon who came to put his hand on Lord Shiva and make him into fire, when he himself gave him the boon. First we should ascend that it's a leela, that these are eternal pastimes, that all of these leelas, that all of these pastimes that we discussed right now are constantly, eternally going on. And I love that you brought up that story, because it also, that leela does not only show that we should be careful who we give our wishes to, but also it shows that when Mohini, when that feminine aspect of that Lord rushed through the heavens, that even Lord Shiva was enamored by this feminine aspect of the Lord, that he ran after this beautiful feminine aspect of the Lord. So he did not care that his followers were sitting by, and he was like, they opened their eyes and said, "What's going on?" And Lord Shiva was just running after this feminine aspect of the Lord, this beautiful lady. That it also shows that he is not worried about what others think in the pursuit of Krishna. So it's a beautiful pastime. Very bold.
He gave the boon, so his boon is powerful.
His boon is powerful. Hare Krishna. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much.
So let's thank Surabhi Sundarachal Mataji with a loud Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! It's a very powerful lecture. Thank you, Mataji. Hari Bol. So now we have a short skit. Siva Nishta Prabhu, are they ready? Okay. Right.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Now the students of Damodar. Sorry. Okay. Hare Krishna. Can we all please come forward? Okay. We're going to do it over there, actually. Yeah. Yeah, if you can all please come forward. We are soon going to have a very short skit. So the students of Damodar too, they're going to present a short skit. The theme is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visits the holy Vrindavan Dham. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Okay. You can read. So to read, we'll need one mic for everybody.
One and then one for you guys. We can share.
I'm narrator. Just share. Okay. Hurry, we can, now look at. Okay. After taking sannyas at a young age of 24 years, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very eagerly wanted to visit the childhood place of Lord Krishna, Vrindavan. But his first two attempts were unsuccessful. His devotees loved him so much that they would not let him go.
I have a strong desire to go to Vrindavan.
Mahaprabhu, why don't you wait for it's currently the rainy season. Why don't you go to Vrindavan after the Chaturmasa monsoons go, and you can gladly go to Vrindavan.
Mahaprabhu, we have a humble request that don't go alone and take with you a Brahmin who will carry your water pots, clothes, and who will cook for you.
Okay, if these are your sincere requests, then I will do as you say.
Mahaprabhu, I'm that Brahmin who is extremely fortunate and will be accompanying you on your journey.
Chant.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
The auspicious time comes and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally embarks on journey to Vrindavan. He goes through the Jharkhand forest where he performs wonderful miracles. The wild animals sing and dance in ecstasy in his company. Finally, he reaches the holy land of Vrindavan.
The holy land of Vrindavan. How fortunate am I to reach Vrindavan?
He looks like such a great devotee.
Yes, just look at the bright tilak on his forehead and his effulgent face.
My dear friends, do you know where the holy Radha Kund and Shyam Kund are?
No, we haven't heard of such a place.
Oh no, where can Radha Kund and Shyam Kund be?
Mahaprabhu goes to a paddy field, and since he is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, he could see with his transcendental vision where Radha Kund and Shyam Kund is.
So, finally, I found it. This is Radha Kund and that is Shyam Kund. Shri Radha Kund ki jai, Shri Shyam Kund ki jai. Shri Radha Kund ki jai, Shri Shyam Kund ki jai.
Thus, it is only because of the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that we can again take the darshan of the holy Radha Kund and Shyam Kund.
Hare
Sri
Krishna.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked his disciples, the 6 Goswamis, to locate the other places of Vrindavan. Vrindavan Dham is revealed to us only because of the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. Say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare